like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe. Hail Satan.
I was
Yes.
just kidding about your penis size, by the way. I'm sure it's fantastic.
It was before they cut the fucking thing.
Oh, wow.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Hey guys in
I
live land.
prefer my baby penis.
It was bigger when I was a baby.
Pig in the blanket.
Little,
Can I tell you, I did not
Pig in a
know
blanket.
what
Get
a.
a blanket, damn, Craig.
I did not know what uncircumcised penises looked like until, like, I don't know, recently.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I had to Google it. I was like, what am I missing? I had no idea.
It's not much, just extra little.
Skin, yeah,
that's
just
But it seems natural without it. Like, it doesn't seem like anything, my body's missing anything. There's no scar. I don't have a scar.
you can get it removed. I don't like this artist. He got it removed.
You can wait. You could.
Your foreskin?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course you could get it removed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like you can. Did you put it back on?
Oh no.
You can call your doctor and they can
Like,
put
hey,
it right.
man. You know, I was talking to this guy one time, and he was talking about what do you call it when guys get to remove semen, where you can't get a girl pregnant? What is
A
that?
vasectomy.
Yes. Did you know like it's a quick thing? He says like literally like a 30-minute like inpatient procedure. Like they just
Yeah,
numb you.
I have a friend that got it, and oh my god,
Shit.
yeah, he was telling me like, well, he has a kid already, but he was telling me that it's pretty cheap to get one, but
Yeah.
if you want to reverse it, it's really expensive.
That's what they said. That's what he said. He
Yeah.
said like it's like you're literally going there like 30 minutes. They numb you. They make like a little cut or snip or something like that, and that's it. But he said like to go back. They said it is reversible. But for some reason when I just thought of it in my head, I thought it'd be so much worse than that. I was like, I figured like they had to go like do surgery, take something out, do all this. But the fact like you literally go into like an inpatient thing, and it's literally like a 30-minute thing. Like they just give you a shot, numb you, make a little cut, and then you're just like, all right, you're good.
I mean, the word vasectomy is
Yeah.
pretty fucking violent.
It just-
vasectomy.
Yeah,
Like
But I actually thought about doing it. I was like, that'd be kind of cool to.
It sounds like some space emperor's planet that he's
Yeah.
decimated. Like,
I thought it was way worse than that. I didn't know it was that quick.
It sounds like a really good arcade game.
It does.
yeah,
Vasectomy.
vasectomy, Galaga. Yeah, I didn't know that at all, though. That's
The big
crazy,
question.
Oh yeah, yeah.
though.
I'm gonna
First,
get back.
is
yeah,
it that they
question.
tie it up? Oh, I'm sorry, we're getting.
Yeah,
We're
no,
talking
let's-
about dick stuff, Micah.
Yeah, let's-
Come on.
let's talk
There's
about
nothing
what's
wrong
missing.
about putting fat-shaped things in our face and talking about dicks.
There you go.
Okay, but I didn't know. Is it they tie it up? Is that all they do?
For
Vasectomies?
no, they didn't even do nothing. He said they make like a little snip or cut or something.
Yeah, but it's
Oh,
in your prostate or some shit.
I don't know.
It's in the whatever happens. I'm pretty sure happens in the sac, like in
Yeah.
that area.
It's like a snip or something they do. They make like a little small cut and then sew it up.
I don't know.
Should we
man.
Google this right now, or is
I
this
don't
gonna,
know, bro.
or do we not?
I
wanna
think
know?
do we really want to keep talking about it?
No, I was just mentioning that because y'all were talking about circumcised and it made me think about that.
Yeah, no, I know. It's all good.
Because the guy at my job, because he did it, and stuff that you just learn working in a hospital. And I was just asking him about. I was like, yo, like, of course I'm curious. I was like,
He got
what's
a
that process
vasectomy?
like? Yeah, that's what he told me. He was just like, it's like really a 30-minute thing. Like you go, it's an inpatient thing. You just walk in, and of course you have an appointment. And he said they numb
Did
you.
his girlfriend? make him
God,
get
dude,
it?
No, I think he got it because he had a son and he didn't want to have any more kids because it's like his son's mother is like a pain.
Yeah.
So he was just like, I'm not going to go through this again. So it's like, if I want to just be out here and do that and like have sex with other people, I don't have to worry about like getting somebody pregnant.
Yeah.
And so because he was in the medical field, like he knew about it. So he just went and he got it. And, and cause I was asking because like I said, when I heard about it, I thought like it would be like some big major thing, but he's like, no, like they just, they numb you, make a little cut or whatever, and that's it. They gave you a prescription for like some meds, but it's not really even like any of that pain. Like you can walk afterwards. They recommend like maybe like you don't like do like any athletics or stuff like that for maybe like extreme athletics for maybe like 2 to 5 days, like a week or so.
Yeah.
But like you can walk just fine. Like
When
there's-
could you fuck again?
You probably have to wait, probably like the 2 to 5 days, like a week. It's just enough time.
When can I start jerking off, doctor?
Because I don't even think it's like nothing to where like it's like minor like stitches too. When they sew it back up, it's like minor stitches.
I'm not looking to get.
So it's just like like it's like the type
Yeah.
of it. He's like, yeah, like anything extreme, 2 to 5 days, but you can walk, and he's like, he felt fine. Like he didn't feel in pain. He wouldn't like hurt anything. It was just like a quick, And he said like it is reversible. Of course, like what Mike was saying, that it's more. He explained it. I couldn't remember what it was, but like the process to get it back, if you want to have kids again, it's a little bit more involved, but it's not impossible. The way he made it seem.
Yeah.
But I thought that was kind of neat. I was just like, I didn't realize like, because like you said, like the name, you think it's going to be some drastic thing, and like of course, as men, we don't want anything like cutting our penis or cutting at our penis.
I was going to say, we're talking about this, and I'm just like,
I know.
Yeah,
I was like that too.
Yeah.
But it was just like the way he made it sound was just like, yeah, it's like a little quick thing. They
Yeah.
just dumb you. It's like they do what they do. And it's like, all right, see you later.
I wonder if there's something like that's psychological going on. Because, like, how old is the guy?
He's like at least 40, 45.
See, that's what I'm saying. Is
And he got it done maybe
I just
5 years before that. So he was maybe like 35, 37 when he got
okay.
it done.
So I just remember something. My stepdad has a scar like right here, and I think it had something to do with
Not appendicitis.
no
Vasectomy?
vasectomy. I don't know if it was a vasectomy, but I know
But it's
maybe that's all.
But up
Yeah.
here. Interesting.
I'm pretty sure that's it. If I may be associating with the wrong thing, he may have
Yeah.
had some other surgery, and then like real close
Mm-hmm.
within that time frame, he also had a vasectomy. But either way, I don't know. I just remember seeing that scar, and now I'm thinking about it. I know he had surgery to like not have kids, basically.
Yeah.
So I guess it's a vasectomy.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's other types of surgery you can do where it's like more legitimate. Or
Well, also
something.
too, maybe like when they did it, it maybe wouldn't. Maybe when he did it, it maybe wasn't as advanced as like when my
What it is
coworker
now.
did it. Yeah.
Well, it's
It's like now, it's like it's like he's like this is a quick thing.
Well, like appendicitis and gallbladders and shit. That's like it used to be like a big gash right here. Now it's like because I had
My
mine.
mom has a big gash.
Yeah, dude, I got my appendix ruptured in 2007, or I'm sorry, like 2010, 9, something
Mhm.
like that. And I have like just 3 holes, and you can barely see them. It's like you can't even tell if I took my shirt off.
Okay.
But yeah, vasectomy, planet of the
Question.
evil emperor.
Big.
Oh yeah, the
Big-
big question.
The
Yeah.
big
Okay.
question.
Sorry.
No, we're good.
Welcome
so-
to
yeah.
the part of the podcast
That
we
was
actually
entertaining.
want to talk about, guys.
Welcome.
Yes,
Yeah.
here we are.
All right. So, if you had to get a vasectomy, no, no,
No.
Tied
no.
all together.
Megan
Who-
Fox, maybe.
Who is a artist, entertainer, musician, anybody that you find to be morally reprehensible, but you cannot help but like the shit that they do?
Oh, I got mine. I'll let y'all go first.
I got mine, and I'm gonna.
Craig, go first.
All right.
Craig, go ahead.
Stacey Dash.
Stacey. Oh,
Who is that?
That's. She was like a actress, right?
Pull her up.
And then she went on Fox News or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She got a job at Fox News.
Yeah. Oh.
And she recently like just apologized for everything. She was like, I apologize for any comments I made that were offensive or hurting your body, stuff like that.
Is she still on there?
No, I think that she's off there. But I think that was
Yo.
part of it. Like, of course, she had to be like that to.
Wait, what
Go to
happened with
images
her?
at the top. Go back and go to images, Jack. Jack.
Oh.
At the
yeah,
top.
that would have been better.
Yeah,
What happened to her?
that's her.
Oh, I remember. She was in Rush Hour 3.
And she was in Clueless too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I remember Clueless. Yeah.
Yeah, she was in Clueless. Fine, but her.
Or maybe she wasn't in
But
Rush
because
Hour
of
3.
the things that how she speaks, because like
What happened with her?
she was on Fox News. So,
Yeah, but
for like
but,
a long time. So like,
But yeah, that's like I can't.
well, it was just like I guess coming from me, I guess it was just like because she was on Fox News and she was black. I guess people looked at her to be like an ally for like black issues, and she wasn't.
Do black people feel like if somebody is Republican leaning, they're going against the black community?
There are a lot of uneducated people that would think that,
But then-
because like they look at like because they just feel like, and most people don't really know the difference between Democrat and Republican. I think it's just like stuff that's passed down like in your family.
Well, there's that we both are friends with this person on Facebook. I'm
don't
sure.
say any names
Yeah, but you definitely know who I'm talking about, who's black and
and what.
super Republican. It's another drummer.
Pull up a picture on your phone so that way like no one knows the name. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think
And-
of Thomas Sowell, the economist. He's like a
Oh,
black
yes.
Republican.
Maybe if I saw
Ben
Well, and like I said,
Carson.
and there are.
I
I
didn't
think.
even know what y'all was talking about.
Well,
thought
no,
you were talking
no.
about
I think
black
and there are.
Republicans.
I just feel like for like most black people that I know.
this guy.
Oh, I know him. I don't know much about him, but yeah, I mean,
Oh,
I mean,
he this dude posts like mad like things like you're all brainwashed. Like Trump is like first of all he's super religious. This guy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just I don't have a say when I see it, but I do always think like, aren't you black? Like,
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's just like, and like I said, most people don't even know like the difference. It's just like because it was like it's the thing that's in or the thing that people know to be a Democrat. You just associate automatically with Democrat.
I think a lot of people also just want to be able to think whatever they want. So like if like they're being told like you can't be a Republican or you're
Yeah.
then they're like fuck.
Well, I
I'm
think
gonna do
it's
that.
frowned upon, but it's frowned upon by like people. I mean, like of course, you know, I'm. Yeah, if you are, I'm not. Of course, I'm not like a big Trump fan. But if someone like Biden or Barack was a Republican, if they're the best choice and they're going to do like the most good, Democrat or Republican, that's you know what I'm saying. Like,
But
but most people would not go for that just because he's a Republican.
Mhm.
So even if it was like if Biden was a Republican and Trump was the, you know, they would it would be like they would still go for Trump because he's a Democrat.
Were your parents that
Oh, yeah.
way about George Bush?
No, I don't know because we never really just talked about politics like that when I grew up. I didn't really know anything about politics and like get in it until probably like college, like when I would realize I was like able to
Same
vote.
here.
Who was president?
Who was president at the time?
When
I wanna
you-
s-
the first time you voted, who was?
It was 2004. Was that Bush?
That was Bush.
Yes, it Bush.
Did you vote?
Yeah, because shortly after that, that's when Katrina happened.
Did you vote for Bush? You don't have to answer, but
No, I don't even think I voted.
yeah.
I was so like young and just like
so here to
lost in
my
the sauce.
parents, like that's worse than voting like against their politics. Like
yeah.
and
Oh, not you like not voting.
yeah,
Okay, I
like
got you.
I kind of didn't want to vote in the most recent election because I thought they both kind of. Although now I'm looking, Biden's great, but
He's getting shit done. Yeah.
Biden. Look, I've said this. I was like, when everybody was talking about, oh, Biden's so far left, the Democrats are crazy. I was like, you guys know that Biden is the least far
yeah.
left out of all the other.
my problem was
Yeah.
he wasn't left
candidates.
enough. But
Yeah.
And see, the thing is,
yeah.
I feel like if Biden would have been a Republican, he probably wouldn't have got as much support from the black community, but only because he's Republican and people just, it's kind of like gangs. It's like you this or you're that.
I see.
And so it's like, but if you're educated and you know about both, and you, like I said, like that, the guy, like he may be educated, like he may know about politics that way. So he's like, okay, I'm Republican because of this. He can articulate it. Most people can't tell you why they're Democrat. You see what I'm saying? It's just kind of like, I don't know. This is what it's always been.
Yeah.
It's almost like religion. It's
There
like,
was-
why do we go and do this stuff? Like, you know, not to bring up like church and stuff, but it's just
No.
like, you're so used to doing things a certain way. That's how you were brought up. You never stop to be like, yo, why am I a fucking Democrat? I'm thinking for myself. Like, I've never stopped and been like, why am I a Democrat? Why is this thing?
Well,
Like,
if you, I think
know.
like,
that's for myself.
if you were a millionaire or like making 100,000 a year, I feel like it doesn't matter what color your skin is. You're entitled to say, I don't want to pay tax. You know, like.
Oh yeah. And I think when you get to that point, you really look at like right now. It's just like, I guess from how I think people look at it, it's kind of like we're just up to whoever, so we got to pick one.
Mm-hmm.
So like, let's just pick one that we like. But most people can't tell you like their platform, like what they're trying to do, like what their their actions are, objectives are. Like they can't tell you that. All they know is it's Republican, the Democrat, which is the lesser of the two evils. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Yeah.
That's not bad because at least you're still voting. But to your point, Mike, it's just like, and that's why I say like, of course, that's the difference because you're Jewish, where I come from. So it's just like you guys, and it may be different for Jack too. Like you guys look at things differently.
It's very
Like how your mind works about stuff, versus like I know like how the black community is, like how our mind works on stuff. Like we don't get into politics and maybe even have those conversations.
So
when we get older.
why do you admire her?
Oh no, I'm saying like who was somebody else? Like she's fine, but I hate like her views on stuff, but she's still fine.
Okay, so
Okay.
Did I misinterpret? Did I
No.
misinterpret the question?
What
no,
I
this
said
is
was,
good.
who do
Okay.
you find morally reprehensible, but yet you still admire what they do? So like,
Oh,
her
I thought you about
movies-
mine as far as like one to have sex with. Okay, sorry. Come back to me. All right, come back. Come
Get
back
your
to me.
head up now.
Okay, sorry. I missed the last part.
I mean, dude.
Go back to what you were
But
saying.
no, but
Dude,
like
my
no, I
dick
see-
has no political affiliation.
But like, I see what you're saying though. You kind of made it clear, like what she said, like talking about. I'll be honest with you, I have no idea what she said. I remember that vaguely. I remember when like people on Facebook was like, Stacey Dash is, a
moron.
She can't come to the cookout
Yeah,
no more,
that-
shit
yeah.
like that. So like,
What did she say?
I don't know. So this is the apology right here, exclusive. This is from Daily Mail. That's not who I am anymore.
Yeah.
Actress and former Fox News pundit Stacey Dash apologizes for her offensive comments as she turns on Donald Trump, quits politics, and blames the network for typecasting her as the angry black woman.
Yeah, and I think that's what she was apologizing for, was that she made comments like, "Oh, Trump is this," or like in like police brutality. I think she was talking about like how like,
Oh.
why they run or why they just
problem
not
with-
stuff like that. So it's
Yeah.
just like, how are you on Fox News and you're black and you know like it's crazy.
The problem
you know
with
that's what it
Fox
is.
News and CNN is that they're cheerleaders more than news anchors. So like,
She's still a Republican. I think that like that's this is, I don't know if y'all were talking about it because I was kind of trying to read while y'all was talking a little while ago. I think it's like there's a difference in being like somebody that's kind of not seeing issues clearly or like just not taking certain things seriously. And if she was like, talk about police brutality, like you said,
Yeah.
just like, why are they running, all that kind of stuff. Of course, like I understand that a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I think most people do
Yeah,
have
I
to
get-
ask that
yeah.
question. But, seeing the, a video or something like that is one thing. And like saying, like asking the questions, like, why is this happening? All this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Instead of what could we do, you
Yeah.
know? And I think once you like don't have that mentality of like, what can we do to make it better? That's a problem.
Yeah.
And that doesn't matter whether you're a Democrat or a Republican.
yeah,
Like if you're not willing to like try to look at an issue and try to make better of whatever it is,
yeah,
that's what makes you
yeah.
bad, in my opinion. So if she was talking about police brutality but really wasn't willing to
Yeah.
do anything about it, that's
Yeah.
morally reprehensible.
And I think from her apology, from what I've heard and stuff, is just like, I guess when she came into Fox News, it was, I guess it's like they kind of, like she said, like I think they had like a certain narrative and script that they wanted her to portray, and so it was either like, I have a job and do this and portray this, or I don't. And so she did that, I guess, for years, and I guess she got to a point, I guess, where she just got fed up and was just like, okay, I'm not that person. I apologize for what I did, But I mean,
She basically was like, I whored myself out for like
basically
10
yes.
years, and
And now I'm sorry.
but she's still a Republican. So
Yeah.
What happened?
I'm just talking about how
January-
fine look how fine she is.
she's high as fuck. And she looks like she's a little older too. Like
Yeah, she
She's
is.
54.
What?
Right?
Oh my god.
Look how fine. Scroll down, Jack. Scroll down. Look how fine. Let's see if they got a full one. Look, oh, no, they don't have a full body shot, but she's fine.
How come she's not in the conversation with like the Beyoncés and the Halle Berrys?
Because of those views.
Okay,
'Cause
so
of
she
the Fox
describes-
News stuff.
She
I
just-
believe that. Yeah.
It was like cancel culture. She was canceled.
I totally believe that.
Yeah, that's why.
She says she describes herself as apolitical, though her stance on few issues remains strong. She's anti-abortion, and she says
But I don't-
she is not a feminist.
But I don't think that your political views make you morally reprehensible.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
that's-
I'm missing
that's
the
what I'm
question.
saying, yeah.
So come back to me.
And I
gotta
think that
about
you're
it.
saying that because, like, I think it's like if you meet a black Republican, that doesn't mean that they're against black people. Like, I
Mhm.
mean, the same way with, just because you're a white Republican doesn't mean you're against black people.
But
I
see,
mean, it's
black
just-
people look at that and be like, "You're a black Republican." That don't make any sense. But they don't even know the difference. between
Yeah.
the two. So
Dude-
it's like an ignorance thing. It's
Yeah, but like perpetuating that idea like gets white liberals to think stuff like, well, like Joe Biden said, fucking if you vote for Trump, you ain't black.
Like,
Yeah.
Like, that kind of shit. Like you see what I'm saying? Like
And that paints that narrative. Yeah.
that narrative. If that keeps being perpetuated within any group of people.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of bad. So,
Yeah.
like, when Joe Biden said that shit, like, that was wrong. But, like, you know, he probably thought.
No, he
there's-
knew because cause
Yeah.
in our eyes it's like, oh, he's cool. The fact that he said that makes him cool, so I'm gonna give him my vote because he said something that's like shockish or clickbaitish. What's not the word? What's the word?
Yeah, provocative.
Yes.
But I would say that, like, it's still wrong. Like, you shouldn't think that. Like, you
Yeah.
shouldn't think somebody isn't black because of the way they vote.
Well,
like,
no, he
it's-
said like he knew like it's provocative, so people love that. So it's just like I'm gonna go vote for this guy because like he seems
No,
cool because he's provocative.
I don't think he was doing it for that reason. I think Joe Biden's the most I don't want to be provocative dude when he was going against Trump.
I mean, it's like a
because-
subtle thing. It's kind of like it's,
I just don't think he thought.
Yeah.
Like, I think that he said
he
that.
didn't think it was wrong.
He was probably trying to be cool.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
But he ended up.
because people hear that and it's like, oh, he's cool. Like the fact that he said that, like he's
but,
cool.
but I don't think he was trying
Well,
to
that-
be
I don't think
provocative.
that-
I think he thought that that's the truth.
I mean,
Like,
I'm probably sure. Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
If he
I
said
mean,
that-
I mean, a lot of people think that. Like black people think that. They're like, if you vote for Trump, it's like you're not.
and you know what? There, if you vote for Trump, you're being brainwashed. But you're like, but everyone's who voted for Trump was being brainwashed.
But
Like,
my thing is though, but if I don't think I wouldn't say you're brainwashed if you can articulate it why. For me,
if
because
you're rich, I think
Yeah.
it makes
Yeah.
sense to me.
but
why
like
you voted for
if you
him.
can articulate why, like if you can tell me like what he's done is like what his objectives and things like that, then I won't agree with you, but I won't say that you're brainwashed.
But I
because
legitimately
you at least
think-
like are educated on.
I
it.
legitimately think though it's either you're rich and you understand what Trump is and you're getting the tax break, or you are someone who is just wants to feel like they're a part of the winning team,
Yeah.
even though they're not. And like that's what these he would brainwash the racist because they would feel like they're on the winning team they're on the team with this rich guy. They're not getting any of the money that he's getting, that all these rich people, the tax cuts and shit. Like no one except for Jeff Bezos is really getting the benefits of Trump's presidency. He didn't pay any taxes while Trump was president, you know?
yeah.
Yeah, I say. Well, I think when you get to, like a lot of those guys, they can care less about the politics. It's more so like who's going to save me the most money.
It's
So-
about them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's essentially what the Republican Party is all about. It's
Yeah.
like the individuality, the independence of individuals.
Yeah,
Unless you're, gay or want to smoke marijuana.
Yeah.
Like, there's obviously certain problems with it.
yeah.
But there's problems with the Democratic Party as well.
Mhm.
But just going off of.
Yeah, I got to change my person. So I'll go with y'all.
Yeah, who's yours?
Oh,
I gotta change my person.
so mine's is Mel Gibson.
Oh, I love Mel Gibson. I love
Why? I
Mel
want to hear this. Why? So why do you find he's morally?
Okay, so
Oh, he's
Mel-
an anti-Semite.
He's like,
And he's probably
and he's racist. He
Yeah.
like said some shit. He like called an ex-girlfriend of it.
Dude, we got to put on some of this. This is like watching his meltdowns are some of my favorite things ever.
Okay, Mel
I didn't
Gibson.
know none of this.
He had like a voicemail that he left.
He was put on like the blacklist for a while because he got a DUI, and when he got pulled over, he was drunk and he was going to the cop. He's like, "Are you Jewish? Are you Jewish? If you're Jewish, you gotta like
The
you know."
rant
Yeah.
Yeah, let me show you. This is a 2-minute video.
goes on. A fourth tape now, reportedly, of Mel Gibson and his ex-girlfriend now made public.
Great.
And this
This is
morning,
even
legal
before that.
experts are saying the threats heard on those tapes could land the two-time Oscar winner in jail. CBS News correspondent Ben Tracy has the latest for us this morning. Again,
Half the
that we
people
do want to
dislike
warn
this
you
video.
that the
It
language
makes
here
me
is
like him
disturbing.
as an action star more. Though.
It started with one tape.
You look like a
Then
No,
another.
we want to hear the dude. We got to hear the raw shit. You can't.
A third.
You're a using whore.
And now a fourth. Nearly 20 minutes of hate-filled rants. Mel Gibson allegedly threatening his ex-girlfriend Oksana Grigorieva during phone calls she apparently
Dude, let's
recorded
watch the-
and
let's
Radar
hear the
Online
tapes.
released.
Hang on,
the actual
I
tape.
think there's
Latest,
more.
A demand for sex coupled with another threat.
I deserve to be first. I'll burn the
This is what you need to hear. He's saying I deserve to be blown first.
Grigorieva
I can
wants
read it. I
custody
can
of the
understand.
couple's 8-month-old daughter. She filed a complaint with police that launched a domestic violence investigation against Gibson. In one recording, he does not deny hitting her.
Hitting a woman when she's holding a child in her hand, breaking her teeth twice in the face. What kind of man is that?
Oh, you're all angry now.
You're gonna get to, you know what?
Sir.
You're gonna answer one day, boy.
That same call includes what seems to be another death
She was
threat.
recording and she knew what she was doing. Like,
God, you understand that? Because I'm capable of it.
On the verbal threats alone, Mel Gibson is looking at up to 3 years behind bars.
Yet after all the yelling, Grigorieva and
This was a
Gibson
while ago
are
and he
now
was
both
fine.
silent.
Yeah, he's
There's
in
only
prison.
one
but he
reason
ended
why
up
he's not
getting
talking, and that's because
blacklisted
he's
in
serious
Hollywood, and
legal
nobody
jeopardy.
made movies
I'm
with
sure
him for
that
like
his
10
defense
years,
attorney
15
is
years.
saying to him,
There's
Because-
more
"You
than
may
this,
not
though.
speak."
The
Well,
two are
it
now
was after the
scheduled
Jew
to
shit,
face
'cause
off
then
in a
you-
custody
he bit the
hearing
hand that
Tuesday.
feeds.
Yeah.
Ben Tracy, CBS News, Los Angeles.
There's the one where he goes on a racist rant and he says
So,
some anti-Semitic shit.
I never knew he was like that.
Oh yeah, you
Like,
can't
that's why,
be
like
that.
his movie, like
You
how he portrayed his
can't.
movies.
You can't be that great of an actor and have a fucking normal life.
And director.
You
He's
have
a
to
great
be-
director, too.
Yeah, he's
an
a-
unbelievable
yeah.
director.
Yeah, he directed Passion of the Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, favorite Mel Gibson movie? Quick.
Ooh,
Mine is What Women Want.
I've never seen What Women Want.
I'm going.
I mean,
I'm
Braveheart's
going-
pretty epic.
Oh, Braveheart is dope.
I'm going straight to the 7th
Lethal.
grade TV roll into history class. Fucking The Patriot.
Oh shit!
I rewatched The
haven't
Patriot.
seen
I
that
didn't.
in
I
a
didn't think it
minute.
held up. Honestly, I rewatched it. It was.
All right, so Jack, so for you, why Mel Gibson? I think you may have explained it.
Because like these rants, how he treated his ex-wife, and he said racist shit. He said some anti-Semitic shit,
Yeah.
and like,
Well, why do you
Press
admire him?
play.
say what now?
Why do you admire him?
Because his movies are
Because his
great.
movies are great. He's a great actor.
Oh, okay.
My family like hates him because he's an anti-Semite, but we're all such big fans of his movies. It's like,
Allegations are surfacing against Hollywood star Mel Gibson. The screenwriter Joe Esterhaus says Mel Gibson often goes on rants about killing his former girlfriend and God frequently makes anti-Semitic
No, not that
comments.
yet.
Esterhaus says Gibson
No, it's-
made references that the
Oh, because
Holocaust
audio.
was a
I mean,
lie.
you may do it on the
But
speakers.
it's the reported threats against Oksana Grigorieva that are bringing the most attention. Esterhaus in a letter says Gibson told him, "I'm going to kill her. I'm going to have her killed." Gibson's
reading it like
representative
the
said the
fucking
actor-
news.
I know,
I am
it's-
going
I'm
to
to
of the
kill her.
allegations. That's what they said. Most
is the
of
same
them.
shit.
And say Esterhaus is upset that his script got rejected. Actually, right now, let's go
Yeah,
ahead and
there's
listen
been, like,
to
a lot
bit
of
what Joe
stories
Esterhaus
about
said
him
this
and
morning on the Today
this-
Show.
So he hasn't done anything
are
recently
you
since then?
planning
well, no, he's kind of made a comeback and.
Yeah, I'm about to say because he was in what's that movie? With all the
Pretty
action
good.
heroes with
I don't
Sylvester
work
Stallone.
around-
The Expendables.
Yes, he was in one of
that.
those.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm glad he was.
He was a
Good.
bad guy.
Okay, listen.
But he was. He must have been in like the third one, right, or like the second.
It was the second or third. Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't. He was still on the blacklist when the first one came
Yeah,
out.
'cause he was like one of the
Found in
villains.
tight clothes. I stay at home for most of the time.
Public, and it's a embarrassment to me. You look like a on heat, and if you get raped by a pack, it's your fault.
May I?
Oh.
May I? May I?
You
May I?
He said,
provocatively dressed all the time with your fake boobs. You feel you have to show off in tight outfits and tight pants and stuff. You see your
They have. They played
and that
them
green
once.
Should we do some Mel Gibson?
How long is the tape?
Man, I want to hear. I want to hear.
A few minutes. Let's get
Let's
right
hear
into
it.
it. Tape number 6, just released from Radar Online.
Steven, if I never seen you clear out so fast as when I said I'd pull the plug on your fucking lustig bullshit.
You've said you pulled the
Sitting
plug.
here today was fucking comedy.
You've told me 100 times you're gonna pull a plug, and
I'm
you
serious
will.
this time.
I know, and I don't give a damn. I'm just saving my child's life because you are a monster. That's all.
See,
You're
here's
a
the thing, though.
monster.
It's like
Okay, you yelling now? Good.
Okay.
See, right, plug right
Oh,
there.
what a fucking
Every time
asshole.
she makes
Like,
a
she's
point,
setting him up,
I
right?
love Mel. He's like, fuck it. Oh, no, so now you're
Like, they're
angry,
in the
huh?
middle of a
He won't
divorce,
acknowledge her
probably, and
point.
she's like, I'm
she's
fucking
accusing him of
take
being
it.
cheese. Monster.
Could you imagine? Because you're so used to, in your real life, being cast as the hero, he probably fundamentally lacks the gene to be able to be like, you're right, I am a monster. Because his whole life he's been told he's heroes. Like, no, I'm not a
Yeah,
monster.
there's that,
I fight
too.
monsters. I'm Mad Max.
Where like you've been told yes by
Braveheart,
everybody.
motherfucker.
Nobody knows how to
Okay.
tell you no.
You
That
are
like
a complete
anyone
monster. I don't
telling you
give a
no,
damn
you
about
just
your fucking
can't
career,
handle
which you
that.
spend money on.
Oh yeah,
Not
I mean that's most
me.
of
I
those
never asked you to
celebrities
do
and
that.
stuff. That's like the
Ever.
issue.
You fucking bitch! You asked me for money to the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars. So don't you say you didn't ask for it. You asked for every penny.
I don't have anything, and I've signed the paper.
Damn, he's dramatic.
I've signed the paper that
He's probably
enables me
drunk
to
too.
get.
I feel like he had an
I
alcohol
can't get
problem.
anything from you ever, nor can I ask of anything.
Shit! How dare you lie like that?
I've signed the paper.
Dishonest, fucking, gold-digging cunt! Now I'm sure you whore!
Dude, what's funny is not that he's saying that shit. It's the way he delivers it.
He's going crazy.
It is-
He is somebody who's losing control.
You fucking whore!
like, dude. Damn, he is losing it. He is fucking losing.
He's probably bipolar.
You cannot be that good of an actor and be not fucked up.
Yeah.
You have to be fucked up and have some problems with you.
You have to go to you have to the process of acting probably fucks you up because you're forcing your body to emote, and your body's supposed to emote naturally. So it probably fucks with you when it comes time to actually naturally react to things. You probably are like so aware of them that it fucks you up. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely. And like, you know, especially with the ego boost that you constantly get. Like, I was listening to Joe Rogan today, and he was actually talking to Demi Lovato. It was a pretty good podcast, but he was talking to, like, you know, these
about her like
overdosing and all
yeah.
that shit. Yeah. Well, she's also like a child movie star. Like, she starred on Barney and like Disney and all this shit. So she had a different upbringing than like most people at that age, you know.
Yeah.
So like, you know, and it happens to a lot of those child actors. They
Yeah,
end
that's
up
what I was
getting
saying
fucked
earlier,
up
yeah.
later. Well, I think it does the same thing with the older people too. Like if they haven't really been grounded, you know, and just, I mean, I guess there's like some Hollywood movie stars that, you know, do have a pretty normal life and are normal people and yet do really great.
But a lot of those people I've seen, like, they just stay away. They're like very, very low key.
Yeah, they. Yeah, that's like, you don't hear about Chris Pratt really. If you do, it's
He's very
usually, like-
religious.
yeah, he's different in that.
Yeah, it's like
regard.
people like that. Like,
And
when
they
you
were
look at
talking about
like
him
Justin
on Joe
Bieber,
Rogan.
like he was like a child star, and like, you know.
Yeah, and now he like had the
Yeah.
fucked up documentary like
Britney
recovering.
Spears.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of them.
But what I was gonna say is that, you know, even if you're not a child star or anything, and then you are just an actor in Hollywood, and you're being constantly worshipped, and like on the set, and in real life, you have a different mentality, and I think some people can handle it, and some people cannot.
Yeah.
And I think Mel Gibson is probably a representation of somebody who cannot, but he also just might be a fucking psychopath in his own
There's a little bit of that,
right.
too.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
like
I can see that. He
he
seems
could
like
have
it.
been a fucking mechanic, and he would have
Yeah.
probably had the same fucking.
But now that
results
the issue is
of
now
how he
that
treats
he's
women.
a celebrity, he can get away with more, and he probably did for years.
There's a lot of them that get away with that kind of stuff. It's like, you know, when you can have your way with stuff, and like people are like, oh, you're so and so they just
On July 9th,
get everything. It's just like, of course, like you. But I think that's where I seen like people I seen like that. Like you have to have good people around you that like keep you like humble and grounded.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's like it's easy to lose yourself. Like if I had millions of dollars, I was like this huge. Like if I was like Leonardo DiCaprio status or something like that, like I'd be out here just wilding. I would
Yeah.
have like fuck threesomes. I'd have foursomes, fivesomes.
Do you
like,
know about,
6 days
do you
a
know
week.
about the Pussy Posse?
Who's that?
That was Leonardo DiCaprio, Tobey Maguire, and like
Oh,
a
see.
couple of these 90s, like they were all like young actors in the 90s, and they used to like have competitions of like who could fuck more famous girls, and like they were called the Pussy Posse. Nobody talks about this shit.
I didn't even know about
because
that.
it's
Never
Leonardo
heard of
DiCaprio.
it.
No one's gonna complain about Leonardo DiCaprio.
And you know, like they're
Wait, yeah, we
having
gotta look this
crazy
up.
sex.
Yeah. And,
Dude,
and
oh,
I
I was-
think David
I
Blaine
wanted to
was in it.
say-
Yo, I'm pretty sure David Blaine was in this.
That's hilarious.
Maybe not, but I've seen pictures of him with the Pussy Posse.
I wanted to say that I'm pretty sure that Mel Gibson at one point says, "I hope that you get raped by a pack of N-words."
Yes, yes.
I think I've
does
never
say
seen that. Yeah, he does say that. I remember
yeah.
hearing that.
So I just wanted to, like, that's another
Yeah.
Look
check
up Pussy
off of,
Posse.
Pussy Posse. Make
Why
sure
you doing
this
that, Michael?
doesn't
Who's your
bring-
person? Why are you doing that?
Well, if we're gonna do that, I would have to say like instead of that, it would be more like America in general, right? Like
I should be careful. Oh, here it is. The unauthorized history of Leonardo DiCaprio's Pussy Posse.
I mean,
Well, they
yeah, there's
are.
David Blaine.
David Blaine. And who's this? Tobey Maguire. That's Tobey Maguire.
But
yeah.
but there were others too. There were.
Oh, there were.
Yeah.
Picture yourself at Jet 19 in New York City in the 90s. Or at Shine or Skybar or
We should probably
Veruca.
have done video, right? Video's
No
probably the
matter.
move.
Okay. Who's your guy, Micah?
I was gonna say I guess it would probably be America, right? Like the country America.
On July 9, 2010.
Okay.
You know, like I don't necessarily agree with like a lot of it, but like
The morals.
Well, how we deal.
Oh shit, it's dark out.
The truth is, I think that America is probably the most, out of all the countries, probably the most responsible as number one. If you think of all the other countries, like once China takes over as number one, I don't know how responsible they'll be with
You were
the
very
sanctity of
famous-
life. But people argue that America is not. What's it called? People are arguing that that not quality of life, that that America likes to think that we're the most humanitarian, like, of the leaders.
Yeah.
And if China doesn't care so much about human rights, so when they become number one and they're in charge of the whole, you know how like the world's now on the American currency for the most part, the dollar is like the standard. So like eventually, if China becomes the most powerful, they'll have the power to just be like, no, now it's going to be on the China dollar. And when a country like that's running the world, that doesn't really care about the individual human rights, that to me is scary. Like I still am cool with America because we may be racist, underlining and shit, but like fundamentally the idea is we're supposed to be a humane society in principle. So I don't know. Like that's where I stand on.
Good question, person.
Now the Pussy Posse.
Yeah, I'm thinking about.
Well,
I gotta
who's
think
a
about mine.
who's a person?
Oh, you want a person?
I mean, you can
Actually,
just
a member of the Pussy Posse.
let's listen to this.
What channel is this? So we
Leo
can say it?
DiCaprio, Tobey Maguire, David Blaine, all these guys. Who got the most pussy in the Pussy Posse?
Well, well, listen. First of all,
Definitely
if
not
I can
him.
Set that straight.
Yes.
You know, that was there was a New York Magazine article written
Yes.
years ago, and the writer of the magazine coined that phrase.
Got it. You
So-
guys didn't coin yourself.
Yeah,
I
right.
On the Bible,
Yeah,
I
right.
swear to you, never, ever, ever, in any capacity, have
Yes.
myself or any of our friends ever referred to ourselves as the Pussy Posse.
Yes.
This guy wrote it, and it stuck.
Got it.
But the answer is Leo.
But yeah, I mean, the article was written about him. We got thrown into it, but it's just weird because we never called ourselves that. But I mean,
Okay.
that answer is probably pretty obvious.
But it was Leo, yeah. Hey, YouTube, thanks for
That's
watching. And make sure you subscribe. You are watching.
No, because the guy that the Wolf of Wall Street, that Leo based the Wolf of Wall Street on, not Jordan Belfort, the actual Wolf of Wall Street.
I thought it was Jordan Belfort.
There was Jordan Belfort, but he based his character on Jordan Belfort, but also on this other guy.
I never knew that. Okay.
Like the personality of this guy that was. There was like this famous. You hear a lot about these. Like the same thing happened with the Backstreet Boys. These famous managers who just like were Ponzi scheming all of their clients. Did you know about this with the Backstreet Boys and like NSYNC, that their managers like Ponzi schemed them and shit?
Oh yeah, you
So-
told me about this.
So it's
actually.
like Leonardo DiCaprio had a similar thing with this guy who did that to him, and that guy is who he based the personality of. Like he didn't know Jordan Belfort, you know, so like he was inspired by imitating that guy, like because that guy was like a conniving
asshole
dude.
that seemed like he would, have no care about other people.
Yeah, that's just wild.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm trying to think of who I just morally just.
The problem with the question is we're gonna look back at everybody wrong one day. Like,
Yeah, but I'm just talking about like somebody that you personally.
Louis C.K. I really think that Louis C.K. Do you know Louis C.K.?
Mm-hmm.
And you know that he had he was masturbated in front of girls, and like he's obviously a sick person.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
No, I never
during
heard
the Me Too movement, like he got Me Too'd because like he had been masturbating, but I still like his stuff. I can't. It's something I know it's disgusting,
Mm-hmm.
but like I recently watched the Woody Allen documentary, which Woody
Is that
Allen.
another one? Yeah, you told me about him.
Woody Allen to us is like Bill Cosby to black people, and
Okay.
The
Woody
Jews.
Allen.
I just heard
be
about him. Like
specific.
he's a sick guy too. They had a
Yeah,
documentary on him. Like
yeah.
he's
So
like,
I watched that documentary.
Is it good? I haven't seen it. I heard it was
Oh
good.
my! Okay, the documentary. I don't want to say it's good because it's about.
Yeah, I know, but,
yeah,
but it's a good watch.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
I heard
and
it was,
it I am one of those guys who can always separate art from the artist, but after watching that, because the way they depict it is that he's been making movies for years
Mm-hmm.
to normalize the idea of older people going out with underage people. Like
Yeah.
like that's the theme in all the movies. There's always like an older man and like an underage person. So in that sense, I wouldn't be able to separate it. But Louis' stuff does like it's not. It doesn't.
Yeah, there's
seem
nothing about his comedy that
malicious.
You know,
You know,
like that. Makes you think, wow, I should jerk off in front of women. Like,
even
this
Bill
is
Cosby.
jokes.
I don't like Bill Cosby's stuff so much.
Yeah.
Like I was never a big fan of his.
But his
material.
art is still, like
I can still watch it.
Yeah, you can still watch it, and if you disassociate it with the actions that he did off the
Mm-hmm.
fucking set, like it's still valuable. Like Little Bill is a good little show, the little kid show.
When you said Little Bill, it made me think of what my homeboy calls Bill Cosby. He calls him Bill.
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 That shit funny.
Damn.
When you said Little Bill, it made me think of that. It's like, oh, that's
But my little brother used to watch Little Bill.
Okay, but would you
So
go see Bill Cosby at Zany's? If
yeah,
Bill
Cosby.
Yeah, I think I would too.
Yeah, it's like some people like it's like it's Bill Cosby.
You know, he came back before he went to jail, like while he was like already sentenced, and they were like giving him, they like gave him a couple weeks before he had to go to jail. He performed.
I would say I would not go see him because I
Really?
wouldn't. Yeah, and the reason why is because what he did was morally reprehensible.
Yeah.
And he is in prison now.
Yeah.
You wouldn't go out of your way to see him, but if you were at Zany's and he was a surprise guest, would you leave?
Or if you got a free ticket.
Honestly, I would
way,
say
yeah.
like it depends on. Yeah, if I wouldn't pay to go see. Bill
Okay, so your
Cosby,
girlfriend right now
knowing
says,
what he
"Hey,
did.
I come home like tonight. Bill Cosby's at Zany's. I got us free tickets." You just gonna be like, "No, babe, I really don't agree with him. I'm not going." Or you get in the car and you going.
Louis
I
C.K.
would
What about
still
Louis
go.
C.K.?
Louis, I'd go. Louis, I'd go.
But also,
and the
I
reason,
think Louis is a better comedian.
Yeah, also like if you compare like jerking off in front of girls and also apologizing for it and also like saying well, I did that and it was wrong and then like
It's like shit that teenagers or college kids do.
yeah, like it's
but
not. I'm
he
not
was
defending.
like considered. He was like the producer for their. He was.
Oh, okay,
he
that's
was like
different.
like a higher up.
Yeah, I'm not.
thing,
I'm not excusing it. So I'm
Yeah,
make
that's
that
what
clear.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not excusing it, but there is a difference. In
I'm
like,
with you though. Like
Yeah.
I'm like I know when I was a kid in high school, we would like whip our dicks out just to fuck with each other. You know, like shit like that. Like
in high school.
Yeah, I don't,
not
I
not.
don't get it.
Not,
I know people who did do that.
In high school,
maybe
Yeah.
not. Maybe not high school.
Middle school, you're not
Yeah,
thinking
middle
about that.
school. Middle school.
Middle school,
you know?
I don't know. Middle school, you're not really thinking about that.
You're not. Yeah, exactly.
High school, it's like like you're horny. Like in high school, you can drive. You can have
but I don't whip my dicks out in front. of
No, but like you do pranks where you
do
don't
like-
think
you do
about.
like
Okay,
immature
okay.
shit.
Have you ever watched the movie Waiting?
Yeah.
And you know how they have the game where they show each other the dicks, like
I haven't seen it in such a long
Well, it's
time.
almost like, like
Insane.
if somebody was sagging, you run behind them in the hallway and just yank their pants down. And just
Yeah,
run off.
I would
like
do that.
shit
Child
shit.
ass, kid shit. Yeah. It's
But
like,
I'm
it's like,
saying, when I was in high school,
And
like,
sometimes a dick comes out when you pull the pants down.
Yeah.
That would be sexual assault.
and you're in front of people, like
Yeah.
you're in front of like the hallway, like everybody's out
That's
there.
sexual assault
Yeah.
today.
Look.
We
Or
are
like
all-
somebody's in the bathroom, like in the locker room, and like they take a shower, you like take the towel off,
Yeah.
and like whip it up and whip
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it's like
no, we did when I played football. Like you would get dressed, and like there was a few guys that would get butt ass naked.
yeah, just to fuck
and
with people.
shit. Yeah, but I'm saying like,
I was never comfortable with that.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
It's like you turn around, it's like it's a dick. Oh,
I
it's
am.
a dick.
I am now though. Like now, I don't give a fuck. But like
Oh,
when
no.
you're
yeah,
I'm like
it's got to be warm outside.
no, but I'm saying like I've showered at
that
Planet.
cold shit.
I've
Oh shit, it's a
We're
ghost.
good. I've showered at Planet Fitness though, and I didn't like give a shit when it came time to like take my towel off.
Who gives
I
a
got you.
fuck? Yeah, man. Probably with the Bill Cosby thing, I wouldn't go just because of what he did in particular. Same thing with R. Kelly.
It's crazy, man. Like it's mixed. Like I've done gigs and we've done like Stephanie Name of Love, and like sometimes it's cool. And I've had people come up to us and be like, "No, stop playing that shit. We don't
Yeah.
support that bullshit."
Yeah,
But
we did that. We did that shit too. We played what's that song? Shit.
Happy people.
No.
Ignition.
No. Backyard party. Backyard party. It was
I don't
like a
know that one.
later album. It was on like
Oh,
his
okay.
later.
You played at the
shit.
gig?
Yeah. We
Okay.
played it at BB King's and stuff like that. I think every now and then, like, we would try to. My mind is telling me no.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever seen his song that he
Can't do that
released?
song anymore.
Have you ever seen the song he released, like talking about what happened?
Uh-uh.
Where he's like, "Bitch, I didn't do anything. I just had a little sex slave. I'm gonna let her have a sex slave." Like
No, he did. He had a
he like, has a
13
song
minute
where like
song.
he talks.
That's
Yeah, that's
hilarious.
it. Like a 13
It's a
minutes.
13-minute song called "I Confess."
Yeah. Can we listen to some of it?
Oh my god,
Can we-
dude! It's a lie, is what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
But it's
but like it's the most R. Kelly way to
lie.
That's
to
hilarious.
do it.
I don't think I've ever heard this about either. About
I
Is that Bernie
listen
Sanders
to,
on your home screen?
Yeah.
I listen to R.
Why is
Kelly.
that Bernie Sanders?
I listen to R. Kelly every now and then.
Yo, he
'cause
made
there's some-
bank off those T-shirts too for the
What's that?
inauguration.
Yeah.
How he was sitting and people made shirts and like
He gave away the song for free.
Yeah.
And, like,
What's that?
He made like
I
the
admit
theme
it.
song. That's the crazy thing. He was who was R. Kelly? R. Kelly did the theme song for Obama. Like that's what this guy was in our culture.
I admit I done made some mistakes. And I have some imperfect ways. I admit I helped so many people. And them same damn
It's a banger.
people turn fake. I admit it was so hard to focus. I didn't go to classes. I admit that I dropped out of school. I admit that I wasn't that cool. I admit I just feel like retiring. Admit I just don't feel like trying. But all my real niggas around me keep telling me
He's clearly
"Girls,
very,
fuck that, you gotta
very
keep climbing."
He's
tortured artist.
diverging. Yeah, he's diverging from the issue. Like, it doesn't matter how you grew up. What you did.
Well,
what
right
you
now,
did.
what he's doing right now is trying to build sympathy before he tells his side.
He's gathering the. He's appealing to the emotion.
Yeah.
I admit it, I did.
Still
I admit I got
He
so
just said, "I admit I
Well,
did."
well, that's the thing about Michael Jackson. Like Michael Jackson
lose so much money, pop
is
so
Michael
many
fucking Jackson.
Yeah. Well, another thing, Michael, I was saying, like, I listen to R. Kelly's music. I can appreciate the music for itself. But, like, if he had a show and he's making money off of it, I'm not supporting it. And, like, he's going to be in
Okay,
prison for
what
a
if your
long
girls
time.
got free tickets to go to the concert?
Okay,
Because you may not spend your money, but if it's free, I'm just trying to see where you draw the line at, Jack. That's
I
what-
mean, that's if somebody else paid for it.
Your
maybe
girl
I
has tickets to go
would.
see R. Kelly.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
okay,
would-
wait. Elvis, Jimmy Page, a lot of rock stars had underage.
Yeah. No, I've
Yeah.
same thing, bro. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. It's like Jimmy Page is.
but they wouldn't like out there like.
Yeah,
R.
they didn't
Kelly.
have sex slaves, but they were dating 14-year-olds.
But also,
Like this-
if when you hear about the stories of these rock stars from like the 70s, they were all assholes, right? Like they
Oh,
were
yeah.
all, and like back then it was accepted because they were. Now we look back, we're like, whoa, that wasn't cool.
Yeah.
So does that negate like, should we not be listening to Elvis? Who
I mean,
you
if
know?
that's the case, it's a lot of people because I see that all the time on Twitter. Like this girl always like makes posts about it, like guys that we revere and look up to that maybe have cheated or had
Martin Luther King, dude.
or had like underage girls. I kind of think about underage girls, or had like multiple women and multiple kids, and like but we look at. I think they said about like Bob Marley. Like I think like either he had multiple women or cheated on his woman or something like that, and like he's Bob Marley. Like it's like
and he has that whole like peace and love.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people. There's a lot of artists that we look up to and we respect that are like that. That have one of those three like.
Because they didn't do it to
girls.
us. They did it to someone else.
And but it's like it may be something that's like tucked under the rug that it's like we forget about. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, certain stuff like sticks out.
Does
like,
that take away the value from like how John Lennon was all about like peace and love,
But
he was apparently domestic abuse. Like he would abuse his women.
I don't know.
It's like,
but that's the question. Is it's like there's so many artists that's like that. So it's like,
but
so
when
where do
they
you draw the
preach it,
line?
like someone like Bill Cosby would preach like being a good person.
Oh yeah.
So that's where it becomes interesting.
But also too,
It's
sometimes
like-
with that stuff, it's crazy because, like right now, if say like Jack was like, he had like 4 or 5 albums and like 3 of them were like diamond.
Mhm.
And he's like this big star. Somebody, and like, it's
Craig.
like 5 or 7 years from now, we're speaking to existence.
Yes.
Like some girl can randomly come up and said, Jack raped me, and automatically it's just like,
well, I can.
he's got to go to court. He's got to, you know what I'm saying? And like, and even if he beats it, a lot of times like that doesn't even make the headlines if he beats. I'm not advocating for R. Kelly. What I'm saying is, it's like, it's crazy like with that kind of stuff, and even like what Bill Cosby is. It's like women from your past can just randomly come up and say, he did this, he did that, and now all of a sudden it's like you're this thing.
I wanted to bring up 2 things.
And then of course, when one woman does it, more women come out. It's like, oh shit, this is a payday. Like,
Yeah.
I know Jack's got money. I'm finna. He raped me too. Then it's just like then all you see in the headlines is one woman comes out against Jack for sexual
Listen,
assault,
I
and abuse,
believe-
and then 2 weeks later, now it's like 7 or 8 women, and it's like, damn.
I know that is an issue too. I know personal accounts of people who have like falsely accused.
Yeah.
But I'm also in recent years learning that sexual assault's really fucking prevalent too. So it's like way
Yeah.
more than I thought.
Well, another
It's the whole thing.
Yeah, another thing as well is like this. 2 things I wanted to say. I wanted to bring up the attention of what you said about like if those people, it wasn't bad back then, like Elvis and Jimmy Page dating the 14-year-olds, and they didn't think it was bad. Well, now it's considered bad. Yes, it's still bad just because it happened in the past, i.e., slavery, incest.
Yeah.
I mean,
The Holocaust.
they knew that was morally reprehensible.
Well,
then.
there's also the argument that some of the people then didn't, like when your
Yeah.
government's telling you.
Yeah, you're right. That's,
Yeah.
because obviously they did it and they thought
Yeah.
So I'm saying like, were they of course they were wrong then and they're wrong now. So it's like the part of everybody thought it was okay then. Well, I'm not appealing to the bandwagon argument. Like it's morally bad.
And that's why I was asking you those questions to see like where you draw the line. Like I
Yeah.
know like you personally may not still go support R. Kelly or like Cosby, but like if your girl got tickets and was just like, yo, date night, I got free tickets, are you going?
personally are supporting
Yeah.
child labor.
Yeah,
Like
that's right,
So
yeah.
when you try to like draw the line on art, it's like
That's what I'm saying. I don't draw the line on the art itself. I draw the line on the individual. Like I'm not defending the individual or supporting.
what if
the
he
individual.
never? What if his streaming services royalties went to the victims?
That would, shit.
You
I'm
would-
up
I mean,
there.
R. Kelly still makes good music.
You'd be
Yeah,
blasting
that's what I'm
that
saying.
shit. Yeah.
But like I'm taking into account that R. Kelly is in prison and he's probably going to be in there for a very long time. So
Is he in
a lot
prison
of that,
right
yeah,
Yeah, he's there. Yeah,
he's in
been
jail.
there.
And
He's
Bill
been there for, like,
Cosby
what, 2
too.
years now, right? Like 2 years.
Yeah, somewhere around there. He's been in. They've both been in prison for a long time, so they're not going to make anything, as far as I know. I could be wrong about this, and I'd like to, if they get out of
they're
prison,
probably in
all of a
celebrity
sudden-
jails. They got access to stuff, shit like that.
Yeah, but like, they're not
Sometimes
making.
it's worse because you're not allowed to be in a population with other people, so you're just in solitary.
Yeah, but they still get perks.
Yeah, they. Oh yeah, they totally.
Yeah,
But
that's
they
what I'm
don't
saying,
get the money. They don't get their money, do they?
I mean, you can't use it in jail. They probably get some of it. It's gonna probably go to like their families.
Yeah, but like I've heard like Lil Wayne talk about his jail shit, and like everybody sucks up to him because like
he's Lil Wayne.
They're gonna try to get some money out of it after, you know.
Yeah.
So, like
Yeah, it's like
someone took a punishment for Lil Wayne. They said it was them instead of Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they think they'll get something in return later.
I mean, he may, like I said, and he may do it. Like I think, you know, like when Trump pardoned him, I'm pretty sure like Trump will probably get some benefit or something from
He already
that.
got the benefit, which was Lil Wayne saying, "I support Trump."
Oh, you see, there you go. So
Yeah, dude. Just when you say draw the line, I don't like have a line to draw. Like I evaluate whatever it is.
Yes.
And when
so
I
for you,
see
it's more so like a circumstance kind of thing.
Yeah, it has
Okay.
to be because
Circumstance,
like
okay.
I can't just like if anything, I do have the I appreciate the art for what it is.
Yeah.
Like of course you could look at any other human being in their life and just find something that's really terrible.
Yeah.
And yet there's value within their art or creation or whatever, I mean, and also like comparing other people is really kind of irrelevant just because like, saying that MLK cheated on his wife and then R. Kelly had sex slaves. Well, those really aren't the same thing, are they? So it's like you can't, really say, well, why don't we put MLK
Okay,
down?
but
How do we
George
put R.
Washington
Kelly?
owned slaves. How's about that?
Well, that's another thing too. Like, yeah, of course we recognize that's morally reprehensible, and if anything, I don't give a shit if they take his face off the dollar. It doesn't make a fucking difference as long as it's still a dollar.
But people are gonna look at us and be like, "Oh my God, Jack and Micah and Craig used to eat animals." Like
yeah,
they're
that's
gonna
true.
like.
I mean,
it's just what was.
Also,
at the
that's
time.
that's a total hypothetical, and we don't know if that's true. Ever gonna? As a matter of fact, we don't know if all these hypotheticals that we put about the free tickets, anything is ever gonna happen.
Well, I was just asking just to see like when you say like you don't like if you don't support somebody like. I know you said like too like there's not really a line like where does the line go like between like I don't support this person but I may go to like a concert or a function if this was what I'm saying like you may not go to like an R. Kelly concert or support R. Kelly, but if R. Kelly wanted to give you $5,000 to fund your music, are you gonna take the $5,000 or are you not gonna take it because it's R. Kelly? You see what I'm saying? Like I was just my question was more so to see like where do you draw the line? Like where are you kind of like?
Well, there's another layer to the issue when you think about it because like Louis C.K.'s newest special talked about his accusations, and so in a sense he kind of capitalized on it, right? So you have like O.J. Simpson wrote a book called "If I Did It."
Oh yeah,
like,
OJ's a funny.
But I would.
By the way,
buy
yes,
that
I would
fucking-
take the $5,000. I would because I would use that, and then I'd write a bunch of songs about how you shouldn't have women as your sex slaves.
Okay, way to stick it to the man.
I was about to say, I was
Just
like,
make that
you go
your-
ahead and fund me, but I'm not gonna benefit you
Yeah.
for it. Yeah.
But I mean, of course, that's gonna be the headline is R. Kelly supports.
Yeah,
aspiring
well, I'm gonna
artists.
fucking blow that out of proportion when I write a song
that's
called
like, it doesn't
"Fuck
matter
R.
what you
Kelly
write
and
about. They're
his
like,
sex
why'd you take the
slaves."
money?
So
Like,
you're gonna get bloggers like, "Oh, the man who takes money from R. Kelly writes this song."
Well, like that's
And
what
that's why I was asking, like,
yeah.
where do you draw the line? Because it would still fuck you, even if you're trying to, even if you're not associated with him and he just gives you money. The fact that he gave you money and you took it, you're now associated, and people view you like, oh, like you're the same way. Like, do you have
But
sex slaves, Jack? Like,
I took his.
you
money.
piss on underage girls.
I took his money and I utilized it in a way that's against him.
Oh yeah, but people are dumb. They don't care about that. All they
Yeah,
see is, all they
dude.
see is the headline. All they see is
Think about
R.
how
Kelly
many
gave you
people
money.
had transactions with Jeffrey Epstein that are now considered pedophiles.
Yeah. Like, I just took money from him. Like, it was business. I don't
Yeah.
fuck with the guy. Like, we don't hang out and drink beers together. It's like, I don't care. You got his money. You're the same way. You're associated.
Yeah, no, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And that's what's crazy about it. And it's like, and that's why it's like, and of course that's like, people saying stuff. That's why I was
So that's
curious.
what happened with Mel Gibson though. Like for a while, people are like, "You hang out with Mel Gibson." There was like a whole thing about that, and I feel like it's like if one of you guys got in trouble, let's just say one of you guys said something anti-Semitic, I feel like as long as you weren't anti-Semitic to me, you'd still be my friend. Like if it was a public, you know what I'm saying?
You know what?
Like,
I just think this conversation sometimes about Chick-fil-A because some of my coworkers.
because they're anti-gay.
Yeah, and then like and Blue Lives Matters and all that stuff. And I said, you know what? I said if right now I love Chick-fil-A so much, if Truett Cathy came out and says, I hate all black people, I'm still going to Chick-fil-A.
Exactly. So that's what I was getting to.
Who's Truett Cathy? Is that the CEO?
Yeah, the owner, the founder.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he even knows.
I remember it, the old white guy. Yeah.
So that's
He's
what I was
dead
saying.
now, though.
I think he is. Yeah, now.
That's what I was saying about the O.J. Simpson book. Like, I want to read that book. Like, it's interesting to me.
I mean, to see his point of view. Yeah.
Or just to see what the fuck. But, like, do I want to support him? No, but my curiosity is going to win in that argument.
Yeah, I mean, you're supporting him, but I mean, no one's gonna know that you supported him. I mean, they know they got the book.
If he gets the money, so that's why the publishing house didn't release the book because they didn't want him making any money off of it.
I gotcha. I mean that makes sense. That's noble of them because most people would have just
because
did it.
Everyone would have fucking bought that book.
Yeah, like that's noble of them because everybody would have just most like publishing houses would have just took the money, like, oh yeah, we know it's gonna like sell, so we're gonna make a killing off.
I want to know what's in that book.
Yeah, so I was like, put it out. Yeah, like if Truett Cathy said that, like right now, like I'm still going to Chick-fil-A. I'm not gonna like stop and be like,
It's all about the product in the end.
What if you?
Well, because I'm not saying that, like that's how Truett Cathy feels. They don't mean like all of Chick-fil-A feels like that. That's like the owner doesn't do that.
What if you bought the book? It says, "If I did it." You open up, it's a bunch of blank pages at the very back. It just says the title is very misleading, isn't it?
I did it.
No.
Like, oh shit, I knew it.
According to reports,
anything.
According to reports, there was another person in the book. If I did it, he said he did it with someone else.
These people are retarded, man.
No,
just go sit down somewhere.
Yo, you know that he had a TV show after he was after he got off. It was called Juiced, and it was like little OJ pranks. Like at one point, he was working at a dude,
I know, right? Ain't that funny?
Yeah, he was working at. It was a hidden camera show. He was working at a car dealership trying to sell someone a white Bronco, saying it's really good for getting away from the cops.
Oh my god!
See shit like that. Like, why are you?
It is funny, but it's horrible. It's horrible.
No, it's hilarious, dude.
It's hilarious.
But the fact that you have the balls to do that and feel like there's not going to be any repercussions from it.
Well, I think the issue was he wasn't making any money, so he was like trying to figure out how he could.
Oh God!
I'm ready.
By selling your soul, like.
I'm ready for him to be on his deathbed, and he's in his 90s, and he grabs somebody's hand
and just says, "I fucking did that shit."
Fucking did it.
I mean,
he's taking that to the grave.
I think that we all know that he did it, though. Like, no one's gonna be surprised. It's gonna be like we all knew that, OJ. Like, thanks for letting us know. Like, we knew that already.
Okay, but I didn't grow up with him as a football player, but like who's he the equivalent of today? Tom Brady? Like who?
He's one of the greatest running backs ever.
Yeah,
He's like he broke records at that time, like 2,000 something yards.
Do they take out his record? Are his records taken away?
They're still there.
Yeah, they're still there. Okay,
I mean, he didn't technically do anything wrong because he got off free. He was not guilty.
True, but then he went to jail for something else.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he did go to jail for something else. I forgot what it was.
He with a loaded gun, he went into a Vegas hotel somebody had stolen his memorabilia, or they knew they were going to be able to get away with taking his memorabilia, so he went to steal it back.
Like a loaded gun, yeah. And then he went to jail for that. That's what it was. Dummy. Yeah, this is like, how do you get off for murder and then get caught for almost attempted murder?
You know, he's on like Twitter now, like as if nothing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's just
he came back out like nothing happened. It's like, bro, like we know you did it.
You know, the lady from what's Tiger King? She does cameo appearances where you can like buy.
Carol Baskin.
Yeah,
she's on This With the Stars.
He has a video of him reacting to Tiger King where he's like, "Yo, trust me, I know Carol Baskin did that shit."
What do y'all think? Y'all think Carol Baskin did it?
Based on one Netflix view, yes.
That's what I had to say, man.
Jack, what'd you think?
Look, yeah, like he said, just like that documentary, it's telling a story. They want you to think a certain thing, so they sold you a narrative, and we all bit it. And I'm going to tell you right now, I ain't believing nothing until the evidence presents.
Well, that's how I
itself.
feel about the Woody
They
Allen
would never
thing
present
too, though.
itself.
Then you have
Yeah.
to say the same thing about Woody Allen.
You have to check the tiger.
I don't know nothing about Woody Allen.
The documentary though is all one-sided. It's all the daughters.
Yeah.
Thing.
And his wife too. ain't
Same with the R. Kelly
And
thing,
his
but there's
wife,
also a conviction. Another thing too, Michael Jackson. I think he might have done that, even though that's he
Really?
got off. Yeah.
You don't think Michael Jackson did it? I don't. He was just creepy, man. Like I
I
don't
mean,
know.
obviously,
He was-
I think he was just a big kid.
I think he was.
he
too, but
liked
I
to
think he
sleep
was-
with kids though. He said that, which like, did no one say like, "Yo, shut the fuck up"? Like,
Probably not. Yo.
I
Because people
don't-
probably talk like it'd be Michael. Like it's Michael. It's like he's like a big kid. So it's like if you know Michael, which I don't. I'm just saying like
he's just a creepy dude.
yeah,
That's
people
that
I
was
know.
the
People that I
issue.
know like celebrities that talk about like Jamie Foxx and other people that like have hung around him a lot. They said like he's like a big kid. Like if you're in the studio with him, like he's doing pranks. Like he's just doing kid shit. He's like a big kid.
But he everybody has some sort of sexual urges, and like he does not look like he has any sexual urges, which means behind the scenes there's some fucked up shit. Like
I mean, I'm sure, yeah, but I
gotta
don't think.
go.
But I don't think he has sexual urges toward kids, though.
I just think that like it's really peculiar, and like you said, like he is a big kid and everything, and like there's
He's a little too into kid stuff.
it's too into kid stuff, but also like
yeah, I mean,
the
it's extreme,
evidence
yes.
the evidence is not entirely clear as far as I know. I maybe
Yeah,
I'm
it's been
forgetting
so
something.
long, yeah.
I'm
It's been a
basing
while
it
since I've looked into
It's been a long
strictly
time.
on the 60-minute interview.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like where he just, I was like, who approved this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Well, like it's just
And also too, he may have cleared it up, and they may have edited that part out. Like sometimes they do. That's a part of it too, where they just cut and paste what they want and leave certain nice stuff out. So yeah.
also just because the justice system says that they didn't do it, don't mean it didn't happen.
Oh yeah, facts.
So-
If you got a good lawyer, as long as your lawyer's better than the other party, then you're good.
Oh, really? I mean, shit, fucking Ted Bundy like got away with a little bit. Well, for a little while, he would win some. I may be lying, but I think he went to court like a few times, and I think he may have won a few. Either way, just because the court rules you guilty, not guilty,
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you're not
Yeah,
actually
facts.
not guilty. So
Just
like,
get a good lawyer.
yeah,
In a good case.
but I just think that when everything that's been said about the people we've been talking about, like there is a difference, it's good to separate the art from the artist, and I think it's important to appreciate the art for what it is. Bill Cosby or R. Kelly
Yeah.
or Elvis, anybody, like the art is there, and it's there to be interpreted by whoever, and the person, the individual, can be, the art can be criticized, and so can the person. So the person should be criticized for any wrong things that they've done,
Mm-hmm.
And I think that like it's good to talk about that. It's good to recognize that, and I just think that like that's important for society instead of like the whole. Yeah, I know everybody talks about cancel culture and shit like that, but like
Yeah.
it's good to recognize like some things may have need to been canceled. I don't think there's anybody that's completely like don't cancel anything. If that's the thing, then put porn on TV. Like put porn on Netflix,
when I was a kid,
you know?
I remember predicting that porn was going to be on at prime time, and we ended up going the opposite direction. Like there was a time where it was like The Simpsons was risque, then South Park,
Yeah.
and it was
Oh,
like,
South
oh
Park,
shit.
yeah.
And then it was like it was getting more and more risque, and then
Some of the anime, like some of the
started backing
cartoons,
it
was
up.
like that too. I'm trying to think of some names, but some of the cartoons at that were like very
Family Guy was like
Yeah, like risque, like King of the Hill.
Yeah.
There were some ones that are like recently after that came out that were just like, yo, like kids watching this.
Yeah, it's.
But like I did think it was going to get more.
But here's the thing, man. When I argue with people talk about at work and stuff like. The Office would have never been made today.
The Office is making fun of that shit, though. It's not like
The Office really is not as anti-PC as people think it is. I think it like a lot of the
it's
jokes,
making fun of.
Yeah, it's never actually like laughing at the expense. Like maybe there's some jokes that I'm not thinking of that like there's you
No,
could
but
be
the
critical
joke
of it,
is
but
that
it's
Michael is
the
being
idiot.
racist.
Yeah,
he's being
precisely.
an idiot. Yeah.
Like the joke is not haha black people. It's haha look at Michael being a fucking
Yeah.
moron who's a racist at times. Yeah,
Or sexist or whatever.
Yeah, everything. I mean, and it's the same with everybody on that show, you know. So like,
I feel like Saturday Night Live is worse than that.
yeah, Saturday Night Live. People say that Saturday Night Live is getting PC. Well, the other day there's like, you know, the two guys. It's a white guy and a black guy, and they write for each other.
Yeah.
And like he'll make the white guy say the most racist shit you can say about black folks.
Yeah.
And then he'll make the black guy. Let me see.
Yeah.
I can find it. I don't know who these guys are, but they write for each other.
It's kind of cool.
But
Are you talking about?
yeah, I know that there might be some. What I wanted to get to was like the cancel culture thing. I think it's real in some ways, but this is a time where if you cancel something on TV, that's hardly the worst thing for it, because this is a time where you could say, "Oh, we want to cancel Pepe Le Pew." Well, if you did that in 2003, you may a few years from now have some people not know who Pepe Le Pew is, but I can look at Pepe Le Pew right now if I wanted to. You see what I'm saying? Like the accessibility to watching media.
Well, it also
is everywhere.
makes you want to Google Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah, I mean that's
Does
what
the
I'm saying.
opposite
Yeah,
effect.
that's another
Yeah.
thing too.
But
It's
sometimes
like
it could be a reverse like marketing ploy. It's like, let's just put this statement out so people will.
I
You know,
agree.
it's almost like that one guy, like that one country star who said like the N word something crazy.
Did you see
And,
that?
like, his streams
Did you
went through
see
the roof.
Did you
Yeah.
see the video, dude?
And
It's
people-
it wasn't even in a racist context. He's like drunk with his friend, and he's like, "Yo, what's up?"
Okay.
And like, that was what I really feel like it was a marketing. What you're saying, because like it didn't look.
Well, they said like
bad,
they're going to cancel him, to Jack's point, but like his
but his streamings went up to fucking
yeah.
roof.
yeah. And the same thing with like probably Looney Tunes, Dr. Seuss, all that shit. Like it didn't actually get canceled. So that's what I'm saying. There's a problem with like people wanting to, you know, collectively all get together and cancel something. It didn't actually cancel it.
Well, I think
it's-
Fox News jumps on it to say that it's canceling
yeah.
when, like, sometimes it's just
The
like we're putting a
65
disclaimer in the front saying, like, this Walt Disney movie is kind of offensive in the way it handles Native Americans or something. You know, like,
and then the 65-year-old white guys are like, "Oh, the fucking libs." Yeah. And they just like they regurgitate, you know, bullshit
Yeah.
from receiving the bullshit. But yeah, like what just
You talking about cancel culture?
Yeah, I was talking about The Office. People were saying like, "Oh, The Office could have never been made today." And I think it's really funny because first off, The Office has already been made.
Yeah.
And not only has The Office been made, if we're talking about it being watched, it's watched more now,
People
or
love
at
The
least
Office.
last year, than it ever was at NBC.
Yeah.
It's 52 billion streams from Netflix.
yeah. But they're saying it wouldn't have been able to be. No one would produce it now.
But that would be
Well, people are like just overly sensitive now. You can't do anything.
Also, there's no such thing as offices anymore.
yeah, that's true too.
COVID.
And like but I'm saying like a show like that, like I don't know. I think that there are shows that are like that because like it's just not on NBC and
There's
CBS.
plenty of shows like that. Like
That's what I'm saying. It's like
Have
there's
y'all seen The Boys on Amazon Prime? That's like a superhero show about
yeah, I've heard of it. It's
real
like the
life,
superhero
they-
thing.
yes,
It's
it's
good.
Yeah, there's like sex, there's nudity and stuff. I mean, of course, it's not on mainstream TV, but if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you can watch it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Mainstream TV isn't fucking cable anymore. It's fucking YouTube,
Hulu, shit like that, yeah.
Netflix. Like that is, and the evidence is in the streams.
Yeah.
The Netflix, The Office has been streamed 52 billion times and more now
Yeah.
since the last time I looked at that data. So the fact that it has 52 billion streams, NBC never could have gotten that. So NBC made the show, and
Now
they
they're
put
now
it
they're
on
trying
there.
to. They got their Peacock.
Oh
stream.
yeah, they put
They're
the-
like, well, we should have been making this money this whole time.
Yeah, I know, right? But that's what I'm saying is like they knew that like it's, or I'm sorry, they were unaware of how good it was going to get, and the evidence is that the people who are watching it, and like I think businesses are figuring this out regardless of the cancel culture. They're looking at who's watching the most, what are they watching, you know, why is it this getting this many streams? Maybe we can make shows like this more. And so, like, I think that would be the right way to go about it, to incentivize. Don't look at the cancel culture. Look at what people are watching. And The Office is, like, probably a great example of, like, how to make a good, funny show, you know? You would think that
But
they
people
would,
are scared to take risks now. I'm just giving the other side. Like people would, and we'll wrap this up because we're totally over. But like, what I'm saying is like,
good convo though,
for sure. What I'm saying is like, they, like SNL is a great example. You don't want to take risks with jokes as much now.
Here we
At least,
go.
right. I think things will cool down.
Yeah,
As
people
a
just
cement
always
mason,
sensitive.
I use a Dove bar
everything's
because I
offensive.
work with a lot.
But it wasn't
Yeah.
always like that.
It wasn't.
It's gonna cool down, I think.
Yeah, it will cool down, and also like I think people blow shit out of proportion
hell
of like
yeah.
something being offensive or not, because I don't think it's necessarily a shit ton of people like complaining about it. Because the Mr. Potato Head thing, I don't know how
What was
many
that
people.
about? I don't know about that.
I think it was just they were trying to be inclusive
Not
to like
do Mr.
other-
or Mrs.
Yeah.
Potato Head. Now it's no gender.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like,
gosh.
you know, but here's the thing. A lot of people complained about it when that happened. So guess what? They put it back. Now, you want to talk about cancel culture, the fucking people that complained about it
Just canceled.
you just canceled the exactly. So it's like it's
reverse cancel.
Yeah, pretty
But-
much.
But honestly, like, it's very easy to shit on, you know, these
of dust and dirt.
intergender people who are sensitive
Just
to it, but
watching
they
the dirt
probably
in the ground
get made
and
fun
just
of
bringing
every
it
single
back to
day
you.
for being like, you know, for being weird, and then that's why they take so much offense, because they get it all the fucking time. So when you don't mean something really offensive by it, like that's, but yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying is like I don't know. There may be
I'm the most
some-
offensive person ever. So it's like,
well, I'm saying like I don't know. Maybe there's the whole you know LGBTQ community is sending messages to Hasbro to say make Mr. Potato Head a just Potato Head, and if there is, I mean they're just answering with what you know they're getting. What the people want, you know.
I think it was a
The
publicity
company,
stunt.
Yeah, it could be that too. Yeah, I know. They're just going all. They're not. No one's actually.
Remember when
writing it.
Pepsi did that thing with Kendall Jenner or Kylie Jenner or something, where she's like, it's like a bunch of racist cops and like she gives them a Pepsi and then racism's gone or something.
I remember that. Yeah, it's crazy. Now that you said that, I remember that. I was like, oh yeah, I do remember that.
Man,
that's the thing too. Like, there's so much shit that happens. Like, it just gets it's like it gets swept under the rug, unless like you're just in the forefront, like R. Kelly and them, like where it's like this shit keeps happening. Then it's like okay, like but like if these people would just went and just set the fuck down, they'd be fine.
I completely agree. If you keep trying to go close to the sun, you're gonna get burned.
Yeah, and it's just like, and a prime example was I brought this conversation. I guess we can wrap it up. Actually, if y'all want to wrap it up, I can talk about this off.
Yeah, we're good. Y'all want to watch this?
Yeah, let's
real
watch.
quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I can talk about what I was going to say.
Million pieces of plastic has washed up on a remote island in the Indian Ocean. And for reference, here's what 400 million pieces of plastic looks like.
But they write for each other.
Comedian Chris Rock is teaming up with Lionsgate on a reboot of the movie Saw, which I assume he will be recalling Saint.
That's funny.
That's a fun joke.
Well, a new survey ranks the Boston accent as one of the sexiest accents in America.
No.
But keep in mind, the survey was conducted by Catastrophic Hearing Loss magazine. Conservatives are upset over a new episode of the PBS children's cartoon Arthur, in which Arthur's teacher is revealed to be gay. Meanwhile, no one seems to care that Peppa Pig's head is a full-on penis.
I'm more surprised that Arthur's still on.
Yeah. But look at this. Hold up.
Tonight is the last show.
Okay, this is a Black History Month one. I think this is the one where they switch. Shut up, Dolly Parton.
This week marks the start of, okay, but what about a White History Month?
Tomorrow night, the New England Patriots will face the Philadelphia Eagles in Super Bowl 52. So whether you're a Pats fan or an Eagles fan, remember, child support was due on the 1st.
Just because they're all
It was
fucking
reported that a
divorced.
sequel is in the works for the Mel Gibson movie The Passion of the Christ. So get ready to see I Still Know What Jews Did Last Summer. I refuse to see another Passion of the Christ movie unless Jesus has the line, "You crossed the wrong guy."
So growing up, I was taught Passion was anti-Semitic. The movie is an anti-Semitic movie.
Really?
Because the Jews killed Jesus.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
No, it's
They're writing jokes for I've already said that.
Experts are saying that Cape Town, South Africa will completely run out of water on April 12th. Meanwhile, in the rest of the world, it's pretty insane that a major city is about to completely run out of water in 2 months, and I'm just now hearing about this. It's kind of embarrassing. I feel like I should care more about Africa. Kind of like when you run into an old friend and ask, "Hey, how's your kid?" And she's like, "Che, he's your son too."
The Super Bowl is tomorrow, and as always, there's a lot of excitement about the ads. Here to talk about his recent experience making an ad is our own Pete Davidson. I'm great. So, Pete, you shot a commercial recently, right?
Yeah, a few months ago, I shot a Dockers commercial because things in my career are going exactly how I want them to go. No, I'm just playing. Dockers are great. I wear them all the time. They're dope. It's like they say, they're comfy and they're clean. They're Dockers.
Dang.
Well,
let's go ahead and wrap it up. We'll see you guys later.
Yeah.